Good afternoon. My name is Boyd Owens. I'm the Upstate Region Director for South Carolina State University's 1890 Extension Program. And we're going to be going over our program offerings and delivery methods. Just a couple of housekeeping notes. If you could, please mute your device. If you are on a computer, if you look at the very bottom where it'll have a string of tabs, if you go all the way to the right, if you look at the middle, it'll have a circle that looks like a microphone. If it's clear, you're not muted. All you have to do is click on that and that will mute your device. If you're on a cell phone, look for the same type of icon at the bottom of your phone. Also, to keep down with feedback and outside chatter and background noise, if you could please post all of your questions in the chat box. We will have someone looking through the chat box and making sure all of your questions will be answered. Okay? All right. And just to give you a quick update of who our region staff is, my name is Boyd Owens. I'm the region director. Miss Sheena Scott, she's our administrative assistant. Miss Uniqua Iyabi, she's our EthNIP program assistant. Miss Audrey Renee Hall, she's our 4-H extension agent. Miss Kalia Woods, she's our another 4-H extension agent. We're blessed to have two in the upstate. And Miss Pamela Adams, she's our Cipher Youth Specialist. Okay, what is extension? A lot of times people ask this question to me all the time. And I found this from NIFA. And what extension does is extension provides non-formal education and learning activities to people throughout the country, to farmers and other residents of rural communities, as well as to people living in urban areas. It emphasizes taking knowledge gained through research and education and bringing it directly to the people to create positive change. The 1890 Extension Program is the official outreach arm of South Carolina State University. The division is dedicated to developing and implementing effective programs and services to enhance the quality of life for the citizens of South Carolina. This division currently consists of 5 programmatic areas, and they are sustainable agriculture and natural resources, 4-H and youth development, family, nutrition and health, community education and economic development, education, innovation, and support. Our Upstate Region Office mission is to provide credible research-based information to South Carolina citizens who reside in the Upstate Region. Our coverage areas are Anderson, Pickens, Greenville, and Spartanburg counties. The region office will strive to make measurable differences in all 4 counties by fostering innovative ideas into practical results made possible by great staff and program area experts. The office is currently providing 2 of the 5 core programmatic areas to region constituents. And the 2 that we're providing currently is 4-H and youth development, family, nutrition, and health. And our upcoming services are community education and development, and education, innovation, and support, and sustainable agriculture and natural resource development. And this is just a picture of where we are located in the state of South Carolina. We're up on the top northwestern part. Okay, program delivery options. Now, I will say, moving forward, all of these will be done on a case-by-case basis. We'll be working on each individual partner as to how we can deliver our programs. But these are our 3 programmatic delivery methods. First is virtual. Extension staff will conduct programming virtually and participants will log in from their individual device. So as we're on this call today, this will be the format of a virtual program delivery method, like a WebEx, a Zoom, or a Microsoft Teams meeting. Now we also have the hybrid. And what the hybrid will be is simply an extension staff person will be virtual, but your program or our partner will be in person. And that will be more or less, will be videoed into a classroom or after school program, church or community organization who has a group of people there. And our last delivery method will be in person. And that is where extension staff, along with participants, will be in person. Mind you, we will be following all social distancing guidelines. We will also be requiring staff and participants to use the appropriate PPEs, face masks. We're looking at getting shields, hand sanitizer, and low-touch items. But again, everything will be done on a case-by-case basis. Now, without further ado, I know you guys are tired of listening to me talk. I will pass it on to Ms. Kalia Woods, and she will be giving you some information on positive youth development.
Hi, everyone. I'm hearing an echo, so hello. Okay, hi, everyone. I'm Kalia Woods, and I'm going to be discussing positive youth development today, and I'm a 4-H youth development agent for South Carolina State University's 1890 Research and Extension, and I'm part of the Upstate Region. So as we're going through these slides, there are two things I would like everyone to keep in mind as we're discussing positive youth development. We want to think of development as a process and not a goal. We also want to think about progress opposed to attainment is the key. So I have two questions for you guys, and you could just put your answers in the chat box. So the first question is, how do you think LeBron James became so tall? If you could just put your answers in the chat box, and we'll have somebody read those.
Kalia, we have some responses in the chat box. Many people had said genetics, hereditary. He ate greens as a child. He ate Wheaties. He was born that way. He ate well. So primarily it's genetics and hereditary.
Okay, those are all great answers. So the next question, well, I see somebody put God-given. So that'd be good if we could measure that. So the next question is, how did Albert Einstein become so smart?
We have reading and discovery, hard work, hereditary, genes, studied and retained information well, and maybe studied hard, hard work and application. So primarily studied.
Okay, so can anybody put in the chat box what they think I'm trying to get to by asking these two questions? Okay, I see a lot of our answers said genetics in regards to LeBron James, and in regards to Albert Einstein, we said a lot of studying. So it makes us think, is it a mixture? Is it nature or is it nurture? Or is it a mixture of both? Is it genetics or is it experiences? So when we think about youth development and how children develop into adults, when we think about that, we need to think about both of those things. We want to realize that they have to go together. It is a mixture of both things. So when it comes to why you went to youth development, can you put in the comment in the chat box why you went into youth development?
Someone had mentioned, how do we reach outcomes we desire? Someone mentioned, I enjoy helping make a difference in the life of young people, helping youth realize and reach their potential, produce future leaders, love helping and holding the young future of today. Okay. Helping people, well, primarily youth reaching their potential goals and progress to their abilities.
Those are all like great answers, and those fall right under the positive youth development perspective that we're going to talk about on the next slide. So what is the positive youth development perspective? It's a positive vision about youth. It's one that stresses their strengths and potential for healthy growth. And then youth development professionals that recognize the environment in which youth thrive instead of always focusing on their problematic behavior. And it's a shared belief that any child has the potential to develop in healthy ways and contribute to society. And this is no matter their race, their culture, or their environment. So why do we need these programs in South Carolina? I know everyone is being rocked by the current pandemic, and with the current pandemic, youth are dealing with changes to their family life, and this could be parental job loss. They're more lonely, there's an economic strain and uncertainty, and there's increased family substance abuse. So with our programs, we're hoping that we can reduce this isolation by providing virtual and other non-contact ways that allow children to belong and preserve the social and emotional well-being of youth. And then currently in the state of South Carolina, 1 in 6 children are left unsupervised once the school day ends. So that means that peak times between 2 and 6 p.m. are like peak times for juvenile crime in South Carolina. So we're hoping that also with these programs, they participate in out-of-school time activities and reduce the likelihood that they'll engage in these risky behaviors. So what do we hope to accomplish in our programs? So with our programs, we're hoping that we can provide choice and flexibility, and your young people are more likely to take charge of their own learning and development when there are opportunities to make developmentally appropriate choices regarding their level of participation, how they like to take on leadership roles, and the ways in which they like to contribute. We want to create together because we believe active co-creation between adults and youth does establish a shared leadership, and it also encourages them and encourages valuing and that they feel included. And we want to situate our programs in everyday life. We want hands-on learning experiences that promote real work, service learning, and contributions to the family and their communities. So we have the 5 C's of youth development. We hope that the children feel connected when they're in our programs. We want to provide safety adult-youth relationships. So they want to have a sense of psychological safety and a sense of physical safety as well. We want them to be confident. So we want them to have a sense of self-worth. We want them to build character so they take responsibility for their actions and feel independent. We also want them to be caring so you can have sympathy and empathy for others. And then we also want them to be competent so they have the ability to act effectively in school and work and social situations. So I know that there are 6 boxes on here, and the last one is contribution. So it is the 5 C's of youth development. That is the theory, but contribution can only occur when the 5 are in place. So next slide. So just one thing I want to leave you guys with, a question I want to ask everyone: is your program only providing services, or are they providing opportunities? We know that children need opportunities to grow. Intentional programming leads to children thriving in the most successful way possible. And I know that we try to strive for that here at 1890. I know the past year we have taken the children to the CNN headquarters and the Atlanta Aquarium where they were able to experience that. We also have Youth Day at South Carolina State with our 1890 Extension program, and that allows children to go and view the campus. It allows them to eat lunch in the cafeteria, and also allows them to sit in on a football game, and it gives them a college experience for a day. And I think those are great opportunities that we're offering right now. But if you have any more questions in regard to youth development or in regards to our programs, you can contact me with the information that's listed on the screen. And I'm going to now pass it off to Ms. Renee Hall.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Renee Hall, and I also am a 4-H Youth Development Agent in the Upstate Region. Next slide. In our program area of 4-H Youth Development, we have 4 projects: citizenship and civic education, healthy lifestyles, financial management, and then STREAM. Many people are familiar with STEM programming. That acronym has been around a good while, STEM, and then a while back the A was added for arts and became STEAM. And in the past year, we've added an R to include reading. So now we have STREAM. Next slide. So in these areas, we also have what we call activities. So in the 4 program areas in the projects, the projects in our program, the activities basically means our workshops, our classes, any one-day events, any things that go over 6 or 8 weeks. However, the entity is interested in using our programming. So within that, we have different curriculum that we have chosen to use to better work with the students in these areas. So with citizenship and civic education, character counts, healthy lifestyles, show me nutrition and steps to a healthy teen, financial management, money smart, and then with STREAM, this is just one area listed. We were not able to list it all on one slide, and because I'm going to focus on financial management today, we just have listed the one area, which is coming right around the corner, 4-H STEM Days, and this is formerly known as National Youth Science Day, but this is when we have a focus in the month of October, and STEM, STEAM, or STREAM, there is emphasis there. But as you see in the bolded statement here, financial management, I'm going to do just a little introductory activity in the area of financial management. And next slide. As we launch this video, it's a good little, it's probably about a 4 or 5 minute video. We're not going to show the entire thing, but this would give a visual to our program partners, our fellow businesses or schools or after school programs that use our programming to just see a little bit of what a sample lesson would look like. But I'm going to ask you guys to get 1 or 2 fingers up, and we're going to pretend to do a drum roll in just a moment. So if you're near a desk or near a wall, and that's what I'm going to be talking about when I say a drum roll, and then you hear me kind of whisper under my voice, crowd noise in the background. And the reason I say that is because when I'm in a classroom with students, and this would be a sample for a middle school group, there is definitely crowd noise. So if you want to do the fancy fingers or the drum roll in your own little area, that would make sense when we say crowd noise in the background. Okay, let's watch this video. Good afternoon, boys and girls. Welcome back to class. It's good to see you. We're going to do an introductory activity before our session today. Our lesson is going to be on cash flow, but beforehand, I want a drum roll. So everybody get 2 fingers on your desk and give me a drum roll. Good. Congratulations. You've just won $10,000. So, crowd noise in the background. So, what do you think you could do or buy with $10,000? Is that a lot of money? It is. Yes, it is. $10,000. So let's look at what we could do with $10,000. First, we could take a trip for 4 to another country. Anybody know what country that is? Yes, that's Sydney, Australia. A trip for 4. So you and 3 friends, maybe you, mom and dad, your little brother, little sister. All right, what else could we do with $10,000? You could buy 10 refrigerators. I know, teenagers don't need a refrigerator. You do need a refrigerator, but you don't want to buy it. Okay, mom and dad would. What about 100 skateboards? Some of you like to skate. You could buy 100 skateboards. 1,000 movie tickets. You and 999 of your best friends could go to the movies. Or, for those of you who are trying to eat healthy, 10,000 cups of yogurt, if they're $1 a piece. So, $10,000. That's a lot of money. So here's the scenario. We're going to think, if you just graduated from tech school, you know you have a job lined up in 6 months. 6 months from now, you're going to start your new job. Do you think if you won $10,000 today, that you could live on that until you start that new job in 6 months? What do you think? Okay, now here's what you got to do. You must pay your own rent, your own utilities. Utilities are like power, water, if you have garbage pickup, transportation, and food. Okay? So $10,000, 6 months, could you live on it? Okay, I'm going to go ahead and have Mr. Boyd stop that video. It goes a few more minutes as an introductory lesson or an introductory activity to get the students thinking about what would follow in the class on cash flow and budgeting. So with each lesson, the students, I wouldn't probably show them this exactly, but the teachers or the cooperating entities, I would share that with them so they would know what our purpose of that lesson would be. In this particular lesson, go with the flow, it would be the purpose and value of budgeting, then explaining the 3 budget categories of fixed expenses, variable expenses, and discretionary expenses. And then the students would then create a budget for income, expenses, and unexpected scenarios. Now, as we all know, depending on which entity we're working with and what time frame we're given, some lessons may go longer, some may be shorter. So this particular lesson for me, in my experience over the last 3 years working with middle school in this area, sometimes this lesson could stretch to 2 lessons. The next slide shows a couple of handouts that I would give. And of course, teaching virtually, we would either make the copies here in our Upstate office and deliver those to the entities and the schools, after school programs where the students gather, so that we're providing all of that legwork and all of that copying, and then just present it to them. In some cases, teachers have said you can download, send it to me and I'll download it and put it on a smart board. So we try to be very flexible and versatile in how that is done. But this particular lesson involves them rolling some die and kind of taking the luck of the draw with what their income would be for a month. And then the categories there show different living arrangements they would have, the different type transportation they would have, whether they're riding a bicycle, taking public transit, or maybe they have a fancy sports car. And then just helps them to see how to budget based on, number one, how much they make, and then what all these expenses really cost. So that's what our parents already know. Some students have no clue how much groceries cost. So this is a very fun and interactive lesson, and this is just one sample out of our Money Smart curriculum. All right, if you'll go to the next slide. As Kalia said, I'm a 4-H agent in the Upstate. These are just a couple of pictures of me when I'm able to be in the classroom working with students. And on the right there is a supplemental piece that we use called Shady Sam. The students really love that. They take on the position of a loan shark, and Shady Sam is pretty shady. And so they get to sit in the seat of someone who would actually take advantage of the consumer or the customer, and then they're able to learn, hey, I don't want to be in that position as I get older, so it's important to budget, it's important to save, and things like that. So if you have any other questions, you can drop them in the chat box, and we will address those at the end. Next, I'm going to pass it off to my coworker, Missy Yabi.
Thank you, Renee. Welcome, everyone. I am Uniqui Yabi, as Renee stated, and I'm going to talk about family nutrition and health today. I am an EthNIP EthNIP, which stands for Expanded Food and Nutrition Education Program, assistant for 1890 Research and Extension in the Upstate Region. I serve in Anderson, Greenville, Spartanburg, and Pickens counties. I want to share EthNIP is a free program for your participants. And we want to share with you that we work in small groups of 12 for youth participants and a group of 20 or less for adults. And you'll learn how to cook new recipes, choose healthy foods, save money at the grocery store, keep food safe to eat, and be more active. Next slide. Thank you. So I want to talk about what is EthNIP and who's eligible. EthNIP is a research-based project that works to assist limited resource families in obtaining knowledge, skills, attitudes, and change behaviors necessary for the nutritionally sensible diets. We promote personal growth and development of the total family diet and nutrition well-being. Individuals who are eligible for assistance programs such as SNAP, WIC, or Head Start are eligible for EthNIP. And I want to share EthNIP's mission. EthNIP mission is to assist the limited resource audience in acquiring, again, the knowledge, skills, and attitudes to change those behaviors in order for their personal development and to improve the total family diet. EthNIP is funded by the U.S. Department of Agriculture and administered through the National Institute of Food and Agriculture. It's also known as NIFA. And the mission of NIFA is to advance knowledge for agriculture, the environment, human health, and well-being in communities by supporting research, education, and extension programs in the land-grant university system and other partner organizations. So South Carolina EthNIP is a part of the South Carolina State University 1890 Research and Extension. And extension offices are found in pretty much each county, but they're throughout the state of South Carolina. And programs such as EthNIPs are brought to you, they're brought to eligible participants, okay? And the EthNIP projects, as you can see, are household and family financial management, food safety and wellness, and diet, nutrition, and health. And I'm just going to touch a little bit on each one. So the household and family financial management is where financial management is the process of wisely budgeting, spending, saving, and investing the money you earn. Managing money is an important part of being in a relationship. At times, you may see couples who struggle with finance issues often have increased stress and tension in their relationships. Also, food safety and wellness. Each year, there's millions of people that become sick from pathogens, bacteria, chemicals, toxins, and from like either contaminated food or water. These can cause more than 200 diseases ranging from like diarrhea to cancer. Children, seniors, pregnant women, and people with lower immunities are at greater risk of getting sick. So just being knowledgeable about safe food preparation lowers your risk of food poisoning, and it can help keep you safe. And so it's important to talk about food safety and wellness. Then we have the diet, nutrition, and health. And healthy diets and physical activities are the key to good nutrition and are necessary for long and healthy lives, okay? Next slide, please. Okay, and I have my hand washing video demonstration, and I would like you all to just watch this proper hand washing video.
Hi, my name is Uniqua Iyabi. I'm an extension agent with SC State University 1890 Research and Extension Program. We provide families like yours relevant information and resources to improve quality of life. Today we want to share with you how to properly wash your hands. This simple hygiene practice helps you fight pesky germs and just may keep you and your family healthy. So let's begin. Hand washing should take about 20 seconds. You can sing the ABC song twice, or you can count. I'm going to turn the faucet on and wet the entire surface of both hands. I'm going to take 2 pumps of soap. I'm going to rub palm to palm and lather the soap up on my hands. I'm now going to interlace my fingers to make sure I'm getting all the germs off. I'm now going to rub palms together again. I'm going to take my right palm and rub over the back of my left hand and left palm and rub over the back of my right hand. I'm now going to clean my nails. I'm going to clean under each fingernail. I'm now going to rub palm to palm again. And now I'm going to thoroughly rinse the hands off. I'm now going to use my paper towel to thoroughly dry my hands. And I'm going to use my paper towel to turn off the faucet and throw it in the trash. So that's it. Incorporating the practice of hand washing in your daily routine may prevent you or your loved ones from getting sick. Thank you for watching. If you have any questions about today's tutorial or want more information about 1890 Research and Extension, visit our website. Thank you.
All right, well, thank you guys so much for watching that video. And if you want to find an expanded food and nutrition education project near you, or if you're interested, please see my contact information below. And if you have any questions, please place them in the chat box for me. Thank you for attending this webinar.
Okay, next we will start on documentation for our programs. Just wanted to go over a few things that we have that we'll need to have in place before we can start doing any work with any new partners, or we've tried to make sure we've updated our old MOA agreements with our old partners, but what we will need is a memorandum of understanding, or what we like to call an MOA, which is just basically an agreement document that state spells out basically what we will be doing as an organization and what you will be doing as a partner organization. We will also need a certificate of compliance, which is basically our non-discrimination statement, that we cannot discriminate. And we also leave you with a copy of the Title VII document for your reading, which explains what we can do, what we can't do, and all of that great information as it relates to discriminatory practices. And I want to share those documents with you so you can see them. So if you give me 1 second. Here's our Title VII that will be left with you. This is basically a non-discrimination statement. And what you will need to focus on is this area that's highlighted. And our certificate of compliance is simply this, and it basically states, goes over the compliance of rules, Title VII, Part 15. You'll see where you will have, we'll fill out the area where it says organization or group, and where you'll be responsible for is signing. Also, the memorandum of understanding or memorandum of agreement, this is how it looks as well. And it's just a simple statement of what we will do as partners, and you will sign on the last page. Okay, we're at the conclusion of our webinar. If you have any questions, please feel free to place that information in the chat box. We have a few minutes so we can go over that now. Has anybody seen any comments or questions?
There aren't any questions in the chat box, Boyd.
Okay. I guess, like Dr. Whitesides like to say, I must have did a good job presenting everything because we don't have any questions. So with that being said, I would like to bring this webinar to a conclusion.
Boy, excuse me. There are some questions coming through now. Sorry.
Okay.
Someone asked, can they see the rest of Miss Hall's video?
Yes. If you put your email address in the chat box, we will be more than happy to send it to you. I also see, in reference to the certificate of compliance, where can they find it? I think this is an internal question, and I don't have a problem sharing that information. If you just send me a quick email, I'll send it to you. I received it a little while ago as a PDF form. I don't have a problem sending it to you at all. Uh, 1890 locations. Yes, I will get that out to you as well. We should have that. I think I have it at my office. We're doing a, what do you call, I like to call it an A-Day, B-Day, where A days we're at the office, B days we're at home. And this is my B day today, so I'm not in the office, but I will make sure to get that to you, Miss Michelle. It will not be a problem. Again, and I think those are all the questions. Thanks guys again for participating in our webinar. This has been recorded. If you know anyone else who could benefit from our programs and activities, please, and they would like to watch this webinar, please get in touch with our office, either by phone or email. And we will share that to them. The only thing that we ask is that they complete a registration. And once they register, so we can get that demographic information, we will get this webinar to them and they can watch it. Also, keep an eye out for your email address. We will be sending out evaluations so you can evaluate how we did today. We would appreciate getting that feedback. If there isn't anything else, thanks, guys. Yes,
Boy,
Dr. Whitesides.
I was trying to put something in there. I tried to mess up the typing, but what are some of y'all partners saying about what delivery method they want to have from you all right now since we've gone through the pandemic? Or have they made any special requests or anything like that when you're engaging them about doing programs?
Yes. Right now, the request that we've gotten is for us to come and do in-person programming. So
I can interject with my recent contact if you'd like for me to, Mr. Boyd.
Well, yeah, if you would like.
We have been asked to come back to a school that we've had a ongoing relationship with, and they prefer that we would be in class, but the district that they're in has said no visitors in the school right now. So even though that's what they want, they know they've kind of got some limitations there, and then we've got our limitations from the 1890 perspective. So we've offered a plan B that has been a good option for them. So we will be doing I think the word we used on the screen is hybrid, where I would be virtual and then presenting into the classroom, and the teacher would project onto the smart board, what I'm teaching, and then any handouts or physical paperwork we would get to them so that they can then work in their classes. That's in a particular school district where they're already doing in-person school. Did that help, Dr. Whitesides?
Oh, it does. I was just asking. I was just curious because I know like the folks that I've talked to are just kind of what you're saying. They want us to come back in, but the schools are not really open yet, so you really can't go back in. And I just was wondering what adjustments are we going to make to do so. I mean, that's a great adjustment you came up with, but I suspect the schools will be open pretty soon. So the next conversation that we're going to have is, what is our social distancing protocols? Now, when you're working with kids, they want to be close, and I don't know how you keep kids, especially the younger they are. I don't know how you keep them socially distanced because I don't think they're going to listen. So how do we, how do we account for that and that sort of thing? So that was just the question I had, and just wanted to kind of get some feedback as to, what you all are experiencing.
Right. Yeah. So up here, a lot of our school districts are back running. Most of them are doing the 2-day schedule, but we do have some. Anderson 5 is actually going a 5-day schedule. So, and from what I've heard is they would like for us to come back. Actually, District 2 has already gotten approval for us to come back into the school. Like what Ms. Renee Hall was saying, they're not allowing other individual agencies to come, but you can get approval to do that. So that's where we are on that. All right. Is there anything else? If not, thank you guys again.
I think Dr. Whitesides was responding, but he was on mute.
Oh, yeah, I was saying something.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry.
Well, I hope I ain't holding you up. You're trying to get out of here pretty fast. Anyway.
No, I was just trying to be respectful of the hour.
No problem. I'm just fooling around. What about after school programs? Anybody has any requests from after school programs, or how they're going to restart after school programs or daycares or anything like that? Yes.
With the after school program requests that we've received, they're all in person. They would like for us to come in person. They're okay with the hybrid as well, but they would like the in person, and after school programs are socially distanced. So 6 feet apart, masks, PPE, low touch items. Yeah. Any other questions? Let me slow down since Dr. Whiteside said I'm rushing. I don't want to give that impression.
Well, I have a question for Dr. Whitesides. You're on mute, Dr. Whitesides. Do you have an idea of, oh, maybe he's on the phone.
Go ahead. Sorry about that.
Now, I was just going to ask, do you all have any idea when we may be able to return face-to-face, if we have the option to, or no?
No, ma'am, we have not made any decisions as far as that. That's an ongoing discussion. But one thing I can tell you, the cautiousness that Mr. Abajon has, and I think he's on here, we could probably speak to it more, is the numbers keep going up and down in the state. We can't get a consistent downturn in the amount of cases. And we just don't want to put you all in harm's way. You know, and now with schools going in, I think you see the amount of cases that the students are getting are increasing rapidly because, you know, some schools are going back and that sort of thing. And then the teachers are getting it also. So that's kind of what the news is not talking about. So though we really ready to just get back out there, we're just real hesitant and cautious because we just can't get a beat on if the numbers are going to go down. And then what I'm finding is a lot of people at this point just COVID out. They just don't care. They're just ready to do something.
Yeah.
But we just don't have that luxury to do that. we just can't.
Yeah.
Can't do that.
Me and Mr. Abajon discussed this on yesterday. I gave him a call and we discussed a little bit on how we could return to in-person programming. And he was adamant on social distancing and PPE.
Yeah.
So those have to be in place. And I wouldn't have it any other way.